Good afternoon, teacher. My name is Jennifer Truquiana. I am in Port A of the National and Foreign Languages Pedagogy career. Today I'm going to talk about the review of related literature. So let's start. Here I have 7 points that I'm going to talk about. The first one, definition of reading. Second, types of reading. Third, purposes of reading. Fourth, reading techniques. Five, teaching reading. Sixth, stage of reading. Seventh, role of the teacher and techniques of teaching reading. So here we have the definition of reading. Urquhart and Wright in William Gray mentioned the reading is the process of receiving, interpreting information in language from via the medium of print. When I say from via the medium print, we can read the information by magazines, journals, papers, and books, and etc. In this case, the author also mentioned the reading must develop. In this case, the reader can understand the meaning and also catch the meaning of the text. That's the purpose. Okay, continue. We have here the types of reading. According to Patel and Pravin in 2008, there are 4 types of reading. Here we have intensive reading. It focuses on idiom and vocabulary that taught by the teacher. Here we have an example, the vocabulary that exists in a poem, poetry, novel, or other resource. Here the students will focus in the grammatical or semantic structure of a poem or poetry. So the student will be focused in these details. The second, we have extensive reading. The learners reading test for enjoyment and to develop reading skills. For example, the students read different kinds of books such as journals, newspapers, and magazines, only for pleasure and only to understand the contents. We have a loud reading. Basically, it's using loud voice and clearly. For example, reading a poetry, dialogue. It is, as I say, to read with a loud voice. And the last one, silent reading. Read without voice in order that the students can concentrate their attention. For example, the students reading a text by heart. In this case, the student will focus in their own book or journal that they are reading. Continue, we have the purpose of reading. According to Gray, William, and Fredica in 2002, the category of purpose of reading includes these are. The first one, reading to search for simple information. It is used in reading task that is probably the best seen as the type of reading ability. It is a common reading ability. Reading to skim quickly. It is a common part of many reading tasks and useful skills. We have the third one, reading to learn from tests. The person needs to learn information from a test, ability to remember main ideas, recognize and construct theoretical frameworks. Here typically occurs in academic and professional purposes. The fourth one, reading to integrate information. The relative importance of complementary, mutually supporting or conflicting information. Here, the reading is to integrate information. It requires additional decisions about, as I mentioned, mutually supporting or conflicting information. Five, reading to write and reading to critic test. Reading requires ability to compose, select, and critique information from a text. This only focus to critique the text, and also it requires to the reader to integrate more information. And the last one, reading for general comprehension, require very rapid words, strong skills, informing a general meaning of representation of a main idea. And here the reader will be more skillful and fluent while reading. All these purposes of reading is for everyone. We must read extensively to get more information and knowledge about of a social life. For example, the political and economic problems in our country. This part it is so important to know about the social life problems in our world. Okay, continue. We have reading techniques. Okay, scanning is based on searching for ideas or keywords. For example, when we don't understand any word and we search in a dictionary. The steps in scanning are state the specific information you are looking for, try to anticipate how the answer will appear and what clues you might use to help you to locate the answer. Use headings, selectively read and skip through sections of the passage. We had skimming. Skimming it is a technique used for the main ideas of the test. According to Mike Lukey and Jeffries in Ramat in 2008, the techniques that they describe are these. Read the title, read the introduction, read the first sentence of every other paragraph, read any headings and subheadings, read the summary or last paragraph. Okay, here we have theoretical models of reading process. So according to Barbara, according to Barbara Inutomo in 2008, there are three views of reading process, and these are bottom-up. The bottom view of reading focus on the test-based processing as the major instructional concern of teachers. The second one, top-down. Top-down, it is a view of reading focuses on the reader. In this reading process, the reader creates his own answer. The reader is viewed as an active, the problem solver who gets what the author is saying. And the last one, interactive. The interactive view of reading focuses on the active, constructive nature of reading. Continue with the presentation, we have another important part. It is the teaching. According to Brown in 2007, teaching is guiding the learning, in this case, the teacher. It is a guide, enabling the learner to learn. That's the purpose. Payenza in 2008 said that there are basic steps to teach reading to develop the student's comprehension. Here we have active background knowledge necessary for understanding the text, set purposes for reading, for more information, for get more information, have students read for these purposes, check students' intentions. In this case, the teacher can make some questions and the students must answer it. Give students feedback about their comprehension performance. Okay, the next we have, there are steps or stage which can be applied by the teacher to achieve the objectives and to make the students effective and improve their skills. Here we have three stages. The first one, pre-reading. Here, the students should show interest in reading. In pre-reading can do an activity like a warm-up to get an idea for what the test is about. The second one, whilst reading. At this stage, the teacher can ask them questions and they have to answer individually, like another step of teaching reading. And the last one, post-reading. The students must communicate in English, and this obviously for improve their skills, and it serves to develop comprehension skills. Okay, continue with the presentation. We have the last part, role of the teacher. The teacher can apply many roles in teaching learning process. According to Rebecca of Ward and Brown 2001, mention and classifies the roles. The teacher as a controller. As controller because he or she must explain how the students must use the language and how they can, can speak in a formal way. The teacher as a director. He or she gives instructions and the students must follow it. The teacher as a manager because he or she must planificate, organize the time, organize the schedules as I mentioned, also um, also to improve in how the learning process it's going in the time. The teacher as a facilitator because him or she must be prepared for the doubts of the students. The teacher as a resource because he or she gives more information for the students. Finally, we have techniques of teaching reading. According to Walker, he mentioned some techniques. Close instruction, directed reading activity, question answer relationships, directive reading, thinking activity, summarization, repeat reading, and finally word cards. Okay, the teacher can use many techniques for teaching reading. It is complex but not impossible. The teacher must encourage and motivate their students to read. As I mentioned, the benefits and the positive ways that the reader give us, the techniques that the teacher use will develop all the strategies of each students. That's all, teacher. Thank you so much. Here we have the reference that I have the whole information, the important information that we must say, read, and improve our own skills. And also as a future teacher, this is a specific strategies that we can use. So thank you, teacher. I hope you understand this part. I enjoyed this part. Have a good day.